Fellas, when Donald Trump said that he was going gun blazing into Nigeria to destroy and bring order should the Nigerian government fail to stop the genocide against Christians, all black people across the world were very, very angry at Trump. I mean, some white people too. You know, sure, you must be fair. We not just watch by black people. White people watch us too. So if we share an opinion, we share an engagement, we most likely brothers. So Trump said we're going to Nigeria. If Nigeria doesn't do anything, this is what he said.
Nigerian government continues to allow the killing of Christians. The USA will immediately stop all aid and assistance to Nigeria. We're going to do things to Nigeria that Nigeria is not going to be happy about and may very well go into that now disgraced country, guns are blazing, to completely wipe out the Islamic terrorists who are committing these horrible, horrible atrocities.
We got very angry. The entire Africa was like, yeah, the United States of America is trying something. What? Remember? We all said America is trying to get into Nigeria so they can loot minerals. This is an excuse. It's just trying to find an excuse to get into Nigeria and loot. Even though there were many accounts of many people speaking out, especially this man here. This is the call caller. This is the whistleblower, the pastor that's called for Donald Trump to react after he was tagged numerous times.
Nigerian government came out openly and denied there is no massacre, there is no genocide of Christians in Nigeria.
I went across many videos, and with time, with observation, we're coming into conclusion that will perhaps shock everybody. Could there be a system within Nigeria that's profiting from Boko Haram unaliving people? Could there perhaps be a system, an organized system of powerful people that actually wants people to be unalive for their benefit? We're going to listen to this guy very carefully, and I think we're going to learn something very interesting. So this man was actually born a Muslim, and he lived his entire life in the north, where havoc is actually happening against the Christians. Many people say it's not just a Christian, but yeah, let's talk about the Christian for now. This guy was born a Muslim in that area, and he left, and he is speaking because he knows very well what he's talking about. Let's leave.
So 1992-93 in Kaduna, a riot broke out which they call the Zango riot. I was a young boy, very, very young then. And people were killed in scores. If you are not an Afsa person practicing Muslim in Islam, they were killed. Especially if you are from the southern part of Kaduna, the tribes from the southern part of Kaduna, they were massacred. It was called the Zango riot. And if the next thing they do is to burn churches, kill Christians, and then if they are done with that, then they focus on businesses that is for Igbo people, Igbo owned businesses, and they destroy it. I grew up knowing that Christians are an endangered species in Nigeria. In the year 2000, when the Sharia riot, I mean, if you have heard of the Sharia riot, hundreds of thousands of people were killed in Kaduna. I can remember vividly that we had to defend our house from people. They brought some Fulani boys and they faced our house. They were shooting arrows. They were stoning our zinc. They spot our zinc, shooting arrows. Even though I was a Muslim then. Even though my father was a Muslim then. But because majority of the people in our compound were Christians, so they were willing to destroy every one of us because we were living with Christians. I can remember a particular church in Mando, for those that know Mando, in Kaduna, called Chapel of Redemption. That church was destroyed. And so from that time, anytime there's a little hanky-panky in Nigeria, the first target is churches and Christians. And this has prevailed for a long time. That even if there's a problem with in another country, the Muslim and the Hausas in Nigeria will rise up and begin to kill Christians. How many of you remember the Miss World crisis in 2002, 2001, 2002? That somebody threw a picture of Muhammad or something in France, long away in France, and they began to fight in Nigeria. Are you following me? Christians are endangered species. Now let me give you, and that's how it has continued. Scores have been killed, and they focus on regions where there is a mixture of both Christianity and Islam. If you look at states like Kaduna, states like Plateau State, states like Nasarawa, states like Taraba, states like Benue, states like Bauchi, states like Gombe, states like Borno. These are places where they focus on because they intend to eliminate every living Christian in that place. Anybody that deboned is a total lie because I have grown and lived in the north. I've spent 80 to 80% of my life in the north, so I understand this thing. Several times, I cannot forget the Sharia riot. We were running for our lives. Even though we're Muslims, but we're still running because as far as you are not of that ethnic group, practicing what they practice, you are a victim. You can be burnt alive. Many of us saw human beings that were burnt alive, like roasted like yam. And it has been going on for a long time. The genocide against the Christian faith. Are you with me? Many years ago, in Kano State, a man was beheaded. And anything they talk about, he said blasphemy. And guess who was the person that led it? The man called Sanusi, Lamido Sanusi was the one that led him up. And they beheaded him, they killed the woman. They killed him and they put his hand on the stake and they were using it to parade the city. You understand of a woman also that is an evangelist. An evangelist Eunice that was preaching about 2016 or 18 in Abuja. And they killed her. We cannot talk about a young girl called Deborah Samuel that was killed. I schooled in Jos, and for years The people of Plateau have been massacred. Riot breaking out every single time. The word that the moment anything happens, the next people that are victims are Christians. And it is unfortunate that all these years the government have not been able to do anything about it. But the agenda is deep. Are you with me this morning? Why am I saying? Because I don't want us to be an ignorant people. If we're ignorant people, they'll control the narrative. And this is the truth. God will not come and fight for you.
Are you hearing this?
From your mind. If Christians don't rise up, pray from that to tomorrow. God is not coming to fight for you. Are you with me? Now, in the year 2009, Boko Haram started. Boko Haram started because of a section. It was a political movement. They created Boko Haram as a political talks to bring confusion into the government of Goodluck Jonathan, and to be able to destroy any opposition, starting from Borno State, under the watch of a man called Kashim Shettima, which is now the vice president of Nigeria. Kashim Shettima and the other man, Ali Mohammed Sharif. These were the people that started the business of Boko Haram as a political talks to be able to oppose their opponents. But after a time, the ideology grew and they began to destroy. Now, it became a problem and they began to use it to destroy, bombing here and there. In 2009, 2010. As of 2010, a man led a meeting in Jos. Are you with me? He led a meeting that they were going to annihilate Christians within the locality of Plateau, Plateau, Bauchi, Kaduna, and Nasarawa. And he said they are going to perform jihad. They will bring jihad and they will go to kill that. If the Islamic leaders are not willing to lead them, he is ready to lead the movement. I have the minute of that meeting in my phone presently. Guess who is that person? It's Pantami, that was the former minister of communication under Buhari's regime. And several times, these are people that are terrorist sympathizers. And that is why the Nigerian army has not been able to win the war against the terrorism. Because people have, the terrorists have infiltrated the Nigerian ranks, the army ranks, so they cannot win the war. That said, Osama bin Laden was a better Muslim than he is. He was sad when Osama bin Laden was killed. And he has said it several times that Boko Haram should not be killed. He said they are their Muslim brothers. How do you win a war against terrorism? When there are people high in government that are sympathizers to terrorism, how do you win that war? Now, there are 4 categories of insecurity or people that are causing insecurity. Number 1, you have Boko Haram. Number 2, you have bandits. Number 3, you have Fulani herdsmen. Now I'm going to show you how they are connected. Many people don't know. The Boko Haram and the Fulani herdsmen have one mission. The mission is simple: Islamize Nigeria. Come to a territory that are Christian dominated, kill everybody there, occupy their land. Go to Benue, look for a community, kill them there, occupy their land. That's always me. Boko Haram and the Fulani herdsmen. Have you noticed that Fulani herdsmen they don't kidnap, they kill. There's hardly a place you hear that Fulani herdsmen capture that they say these are Fulani herdsmen. No, when they go, they kill. How do they kill? They kill with guns. You must now ask yourself, how does a Fulani man get AK-47? Do you know the cost of one AK-47? One AK-47 is over $1,000 something. Where will a Fulani man be able to obtain to be able to get one AK-47? Are you with me? And now, so you will know that there are people that are sponsoring this movement. Then the Boko Haram and the Fulani men, they go about Christian-dominated areas. You will understand that when this terrorism started in Nigeria, that only people that were killed were Christian churches. You will not hear that they kill anyone. It is Christians and churches. I remember in Kaduna then that churches began to look for security men to guide their churches in every service day. Otherwise, you can be in church and the next is boom, everybody dies. And churches that don't have money to hire soldiers began to use some of their members. I was a member of the security team in my church in Deeper Life in Kaduna in 2010. Because we don't stay in the church. Once I come to the church in the morning, we stay outside, moving around patrolling, because anybody can come and drop anything. So when Boko Haram started, the majority of Muslims, the Hausa, Northern Muslims, they were happy. I know people that were celebrating it. If you see them crying today, I'll tell you why. At the initial beginning of this thing, they were happy celebrating the killings of Christians. They said they are purging Nigeria of RNA. It was majorly of Christians and Christian-dominated areas. But when it comes to 2014, the man Buhari and APC that wanted to overthrow the government of Jonathan, by all means, decided to employ mercenaries from Niger, from Chad, from all those Fulani, from other African nations where they're from.
Are you hearing this?
What was the goal?
Are you hearing this?
The goal was that if Jonathan does not concede defeat in the election, they were going to rain hell on Nigeria. So they brought in these mercenaries and they equipped them with rifles, the Erufites, the Buharis. Are you with me? The Erufites, the Buharis. Every one of these people called APC, they brought in mercenaries and armed them in the bushes and told them to wait. The moment Goodluck Jonathan did not concede defeat in the election, they were going to start. But unfortunately for them, Goodluck knew of the assignment. He got intel about it because the man said his ambition does not worth the blood of millions. So the man conceded defeat and left. And so they declared APC winner. Now, you have already brought people from different parts to come and fight. But what they wanted to come and fight for did not achieve anymore. So now they left those people in the bush. They left them with guns and ammunition in the bush. And when Buhari became the president, he abandoned them. Instead of them to settle them and let them go back, they abandoned them. And the people saw Nigeria as a place that is good. And the people decided to remain in Nigeria. Those are the people that started bandits. Before, we don't have anything like bandits. Banditry started under the watch of APC, under Buhari, because they were the ones that brought them in. Kidnapping, because they needed to survive. So they started by kidnapping. And they started by kidnapping. And they started by kidnapping. And they started by kidnapping. Over time, now, you understand that there are certain parts of this nation where there are mineral resources. Don't be an ignorant Christian. Follow me. Don't be an ignorant Christian. Don't be in a nation where you don't have understanding of what is happening. Now, there are some parts of Nigeria where there are good resources. And this has been illegally mined by elites, the military generals, the oligarchs, the people that are the leadership of the North. They were mining these resources, and the money does not go into the federal government account. So what they do is that they employ the services of this banditry to create two things. Number one, to create diversion. So when you go to Zamfara, that's why you hear that they say there is killing in Zamfara now. It's because of the illegal gold mine. There is gold in Zamfara that they are mining. And so these bandits that are already in the bush, some people collaborate with them, partnered with them, and told them to see, keep creating confusion, create chaos. When you keep creating chaos, the Nigerian state and the people of Nigeria will not be able to focus on the illegal mining. They'll be concerned about the insecurity. So the insecurity is created as a means of diversion in the north. Are you following me? It is created as a means of diverting the attention of the military and the Nigerian populace from being able to focus on the illegal mining of resources. And any part of the north where there is resource, you find an insecurity there. Recently, it has started in Kwara because there's a great amount of lithium in Kwara too that they have discovered and they're mining. So they partner with the Chinese because the people that does this illegal mining are the Chinese. They partner with the Chinese to be able to. So the bandits became the security men of the Chinese and all those people to protect them. So that while they're mining, they can begin to cause chaos. Because while the people are mining and they're causing chaos, they're kidnapping, nobody will be able to focus on what the Chinese are doing and those people illegal mining. Every single day to this moment, I'm telling you, they're mining in those places. And they will take it to an airfield in the bush and fly it out of Nigeria. They're making billions of dollars from it every day. Why people are being killed? That is why you now hear that Muslims are saying that they're killing Muslims too. What you have, it is what Buhari created. The APC-led administration created. The banditry they created is what is affecting the north now. Because the people they brought to come and kill Nigeria in 2015 did not succeed because good luck relinquished power to them. And now the people have become thugs. They have become tools to be used in the hand of men that are using them to secure their illegal gold mines. And that's why you kill them. That's why you hear that they say they're killing Muslims. Now, the Christian persecution and genocide has been there. So you find that the other part, the Muslim and the Fulani men keep going around killing in all those parts.
This
and
is
the
crazy.
Christians and the churches have been silent for too long. This evil has prevailed in Nigeria because the righteous men have been too quiet. If we're ever going to win against insecurity in Nigeria must put two things Nigeria must do. Number one, Sharia law must be completely abolished in Nigeria. Because Nigeria is not an Islamic state. Why will Nigeria, some part of Nigeria, be practicing Sharia? The law guiding them, the constitutional law, that believe that if somebody deserves to die, is God.
Are you hearing
and
this?
How somebody saw Jesus and I kill him for insulting Jesus? But somebody believes when you speak against Muhammad, you deserve to die. How do you live in a country with somebody that have that kind of mentality? The military have become complicit. They are compromised. Nigerian military cannot win this war. 20 years from today, I'm telling you, 20 years from today, this thing of insecurity will not end because there are people that are enjoying it, benefiting from it, and reaping from it. If Nigeria want to win this war, partner with America. Let them come and militate. I'm not sure I've seen that in Kano yesterday. Some people were protesting that they don't want America to come. Because they believe what they have been told is that America is coming to kill Muslims. And the man said he wants to come and kill terrorists. But they are protesting. Anybody that is negotiating, people like Ahmed Gumi, Sheikh Gumi should be locked away. A terrorist sympathizer is a terrorist. A man that believes that you are not supposed to kill a terrorist is himself a terrorist. A man that believes that we should go and negotiate. How do you go and negotiate with terrorists? Because you see, terrorists are not just criminals. They are working with the wrong ideology. A man that believes that killing he has nothing to lose. How do you negotiate with a man that believes that killing himself is going to meet their God in heaven to collect 72 virgins? How do you negotiate with such a person? A man like Sheikh Gumi should be locked away. A man like Ali Muhammad Buhari should be arrested. You want to win against terrorism, you must go brutal. No nation win against terrorism by pampering them. The custom is taking rice, seizing rice from Nigeria and taking it to terrorists in the bush that they need to take care of them because they're human beings. No. The moment you become a terrorist, you see that taking the life of your fellow human being is nothing, is to please a God, then you don't deserve to live. Children of God, I'm not going to ask you to pray because this is not a period of prayer. This is a period of action. Reverend Dr. Ezekiel from Jos, the man that have been speaking, have paid attention. Not for once have they invited the man for interview because they don't want to give the man any airtime. But you see, any little thing they will call Gumi and give him microphone. Gumi, they are inviting Gumi up and down. The media is complicit. The Nigerian military are complicit. You can't win war with this Nigerian army, not because they don't have the capacity, but because they are compromised. Buhari created banditry. The people like Gumi and the rest of them, they are the people that facilitated the idea of Boko Haram. And today, some of them are your leaders in government. Some of them, most of them are moving free. Not one have been arrested. Kabiru Sokoto that bombed Nyanyan in 2011. When they rearrested him, guess where they caught him? In the house of Shetima in Abuja. What is he doing in the house of Shetima if Shetima doesn't know him? But today, Shetima is your vice president. How do you win a war where terrorists are ruling you? Where terrorist sympathizers are moving around? This is not a period to say we are praying. No! This is a period of wisdom. This is a period of action. Churches in the south have no idea. They see that they are causing churches with exploit them. They don't know what it means to be in the north. They don't know what it means to be running for your life. That every Sunday in the church here in Kaduna, when they finish us, everybody's praying with one eye open. Because you don't know God might go up at any time in the church. The Nigerian church must rise up. There's an agenda. And if you read the minutes of that meeting, it was led by Isa Batami, you will not believe it. I have a recording of his messages. Where's the people say, why will they be killing their people? He said, why will they be killing his Muslim brothers? Referring to Boko Haram as their Muslim brothers. How do you win with such a people in government? And that guy was a minister under Buhari for 8 years. Do you know what I'm telling you this morning? You are a Nigerian. If you are not aware of what is happening around you, in a short time, one day your calamity will just come. You will not know how. Are you with me? The banditry that is destroyed them in the north was created by the people Buhari brought for mercenaries to destroy Nigeria in 2015 in case he did not win. Unfortunately, he won, and those people were left without fight. And they began to use the weapons that have been provided for. These guys have sophisticated their weapon. They move logistics, move money in dollars. Where do you think they're getting it from? You think it's from the sale of cow? No. The Bible says, watch and pray. We have been praying. This is the time to do what? To watch.
Great. It was a long speech, very interesting. We need to listen to this other guy. This guy has something very interesting to say. He's a Fulani action. Who are Fulanis? Fulanis are people. They're called Pearl in some places. They are in many African countries. Burkina Faso, Nigeria, Niger, and many other countries in that area. And most Fulanis are Muslims. Okay, you must remember, this is not about religion. This is about people using religion for their benefit. Now, this Fulani has something very interesting to say. Listen to him.
There is Christian genocide in Nigeria. If we take a look at what is happening in Plateau State, what is happening in Benue State, Taraba and others. But why the Christian communities or some of the Christians decide to appeal to the United States of America? Because they know they are right. And maybe the involvement of President Trump will help even we Muslims that are not terrorists and that we are against these Fulani herdsmen and what they were doing. Maybe we will get peace in the future, because we are the most target of terrorists. But we show that those terrorists are still our brothers. This is what most of the Islamic clerics and Islamic scholars here in northern part of Nigeria are saying in their mosques. This is the truth. Even the federal government doesn't have any target, doesn't have any plan till today to fight those Fulani herdsmen.
So the man said that clerics in the north have said that Boko Haram are their brothers and the state shouldn't completely destroy them. Are you hearing that? Boko Haram is our brother. Do not bombard and destroy them because they are our brothers.
And the action which President Trump you took, this is a great action. This is a great action someone has ever taken against terrorists. Today, if a Fulani herdsman enter into your farm, when you say, hey, why did you enter into my farm? Their response is to weaponize themselves with arms, knife, or even AK-47 attacks and kill you in your own property. This is what they were doing. This is the pact. So what Christians have said, yes, there is Christian genocide. Many Christians have been killed by those Fulani herdsmen.
Now, I don't know what country in the world where people negotiate or pamper terrorists. I don't know. How do you think other people are going to feel when you say the people that kill the uncles, the nieces, the aunties are your brothers? Question mark. Now hear him say again, he said, if Donald Trump's goal is to eradicate terrorism, then he must come.
I welcome the United States or America into Nigeria if their goal is to eliminate those terrorist groups, because Nigerian government is not ready to do that. It's not ready. This is the real what is happening. No one has rights in this country than Fulani people. I don't know why. I am their blood. But what is happening is no religion. Islam doesn't have anything to do with just Fulani herdsmen. Any group of terrorism, they will just claim the name of Islam, to badname the Islam, to badname the Holy Prophet. And they don't even know how to pray. They were not fasting, but they will say they are Fulani. they are Muslims. So I'm not against President Trump. This is the truth. And I have one advice to the United States government. You have to investigate clearly. There is politicians in the north, a planning politicians that were linked and connected with those terrorist groups. They are helping them. They are in many ways. In many ways. We see them together. They were negotiating. No one will welcome you to the government house, but you will see a governor welcoming a terrorist group to the government house. And after 3 days, they will start attacking every village, killing innocent life. Why? We have to stand and speak the truth what is going on. They know they are right. As we Muslims, we don't know our right. If we know our right, we are the first people to stand up against those people and to appeal to everywhere in this world that we need help. So let them do it. They have right to do it. We are the people who are supposed to do this. We didn't do it. Many of us looking at those planning herdsmen as their own Muslim brothers. They were not. This is the reality. You can assassinate me. You can do whatever you want. You never stop this your mentality. Looking at terrorists who's shedding human blood like mosquito. If you never stop claiming them your own brothers, Islam will never get peace. This is the truth. This is the only truth. In my stage, before Boko Haram start killing everybody, when they start bombing the churches. Most of us people were happy of what they were doing. They're destroying the Christian churches. We are saying, yes, they did well.
Now, these guys are Muslim, okay? A lot of people have said that people that are saying there's no Christian genocide in Nigeria are all Muslims. I mean, if you look at the videos, the majority of people, I haven't seen, the majority of people saying that there's no genocide in Nigeria are Muslim, typically. Now, some people saying those people are involved in that situation. Now, this guy, who is a Muslim, a Fulani, say if Donald Trump is going to come to destroy terrorism, I want him to come. Remember, Donald Trump never said he's going to go destroy Nigeria or overthrow the government. Trump never said, I'm coming to overthrow the government, gun blazing. He said, I'm going to defend the Christians against terrorists. Now, why is everybody angry? He says terrorists. Let's crush the terrorists that are killing people, because apparently the terrorists are killing and Christians and Muslims. So it's going to be again for everybody. Let's even have that discussion. Before the discussion, already people are up in arms. Say, no, come here. Now, these people believe there are somebody in there that is benefiting for the situation. What do you think?
We didn't do anything. We are asking those corrupted leaders to come and fight against terrorists. Will they do that while they are using those terrorists as the shields? And they were using them in their political system? So if you, the United States, will support to eliminate those Fulani terrorist group, I'm happy with that. And secondly, our main problem in northern Nigeria is Izala. There is one Izala people that will come to Sunnah, an Islamic group. Those people are the first people to preach in a wrong way that made people carrying weapons turned against their brothers until today. And most of them are linked to that terrorist. This is the truth. Before the establishment of Izala, that is, the Christians and Muslims in northern Nigeria, their relation is like a twins brothers relation. They have to stop. You have to stop this Izala. Ika, Ishia, all of those groups, you have to stop them.
Okay, let's watch this young man. Okay, a young man. He's also a Fulani. Okay, Fulani obviously are herdsmen in most cases. They're also Muslims, and most of these guys that are unaliving people are Muslims. Now, this guy says something, and listen what he had to say.
Let Christians come out and speak about the genocide of believers that is going on until people heard about our voices, until our voice reached where it's supposed to reach. That's what I'm saying. A lot of our big pastors, what they know is to go there and be speaking big grammar, wearing big clothes, wearing fine clothes, driving exotic cars, passing around with securities. This is Reverend Dr. So is the one that passing. And then people out there in the villages that have been massacred on daily basis, nothing concerned with those places. Like I've tell you, if I keep remembering the village that we went, where I keep stumbling on human skulls that were massacred in that place. I cannot be able to get this thing off my head since that day. Anytime that I remember this thing, anytime that I remember this thing, I will definitely shed tears within me. If I think you see what I witnessed, I think
Well, the man got very emotional. He cried right there. I can understand. It must be very heavy. Now, I think this is very interesting. There's another guy here that says something very interesting. Listen to this man.
You are a pastor or any man of God and you have nothing reasonable to say to all that is happening in Nigeria. Just shut up. Just shut it. Just shut up. After all, that is what most of you do. You don't say anything. Thousands will be killed. Hundreds are being killed. As far as your offering and tithes keep getting intact and all those things, it doesn't concern. Just shut up. Stop embarrassing people. Stop embarrassing the genuine men of God in this nation. Stop embarrassing them. Just shut up. People are being killed. Lives are being destroyed daily. Not one of you. You don't speak anything. You don't say a thing. You don't even bother. And when people that are genuinely speaking for the cause of the people are speaking and you come outside, you begin to bring propaganda. Just shut up. Many of you are bigoted. Go and check. Many of you are bigoted. Bigotry has eaten you up. And the most annoying part is the fact that you come and be saying, God spoke to me. God spoke to me. God spoke to you that President Trump wants to come and save Nigeria because you want to collect the resources in Nigeria. He wants to collect your mineral, your gold, and your oil. That's what God told you. You are a dishonest person. Why have we come to this level? In the scriptures, if you go through the Bible, the men of God, the prophet of God, were known to speak against injustice, to speak against wickedness, but not in these days. Just shut up. You don't have anything reasonable to say. Shut it. What nonsense? What are we doing to ourselves in this nation?
So he said there's a pastor that said there's no genocide happening in Nigeria, a Christian pastor, obviously, and he says he must shut up because you making money, you living lavish in your big house with your security guard protecting you, and you mocking the people that are actually being unalived. He said God told him. The guy said God told him that Donald Trump is coming. God told him that Trump is so. God spoke to him that Trump is coming to steal. God spoke to them. Now again, there's plenty of people, but I want you to watch this guy. He's a Muslim man, okay, saying there is indeed a genocide happening in Nigeria of Christians. Listen.
In 2014, Nigerian opposition party, then the APC, were in the White House seeking for the same help on the same Christian genocide as a fallout of the Chibok girls. This is established. The second thing again is that even most recently, we acquired $346 million worth of weaponry from the US, and we are trying to send our military personnel to go and train as a factor of diplomatic relationship between Nigeria and the US. And US has been consistently, in addition to other partners, listed as supporting countries to help us in eradication of terrorism. And don't forget, it is a United Nations Convention on Counterterrorism that empowers the United States to become the global front or focal point in fighting against terrorism. And wherever a word terrorism was defined in a given area, that means US have right to protect. They call it the responsibility to protect R2P. They have right to invoke that R2P to get into that country and destroy that terrorism. Yeah. So what we should show in our own case in Nigeria is that we should show commitment and willingness to partner to eliminate the threat of terrorism, not completely condemn a hand that is coming to help us and then put a motion forward. We can negotiate with them. We can tell them, give us the weapons responsibly. We can discuss with them and acknowledge that this genocide is taking place. Yes, they say Christian genocide. Now we can justify to them that, look, it's not only genocide, it's not only Christians, Muslims also are affected.
But do you agree with the categorization that it's a genocide?
I actually, when I look at the damages, when you look at the total number of the people that have been killed over time in Nigeria, and they are killed defenseless in villages, sleeping in their homes, then what can you call this, for God's sake?
You think there's a genocide?
I think it's actually pure genocide, because you just come and kill people, just like that. And this thing has been happening. Several villages in Katsina destroyed, several villages in Sokoto gone, several villages in Zamfara every day.
I think it's interesting, fellas. I want to know what you feel about this. I mean, it's very easy to go, well, the reason why they're coming in our country, they're trying to steal. Is that a genuine reason? Yes, it is a genuine reason. Would America do that? Absolutely yes. Why? Because powerful countries have done that since the dawn of time. Okay? Powerful countries profit from weak, disorganized countries. Now, why would you give them an opportunity to do that? Find a solution to the people that are crying. Okay? Find a solution. It's simple. Find a solution to the people that are crying. Is America capable of doing this? Yes, they are very much capable. If the interest is good enough, yes, they're going to come. I mean, it was discovered that America supplied Boko Haram with money and stuff. But people don't talk about the fact that America supplied the Nigerian government with more than $225 million for the military. So America does supply military with money. Okay? Now, America is a very diverse and different. There's Trump's America, there's Biden's America. It depends on the interest. America, up until today, supplies Nigeria with money for the military to equip them. Now, does all that money go into equipment? No, absolutely not. Some of the money go to the side. To some people, they do their own things. Now, these are some of the things we're going to unveil on the next time we talk about this. Because I think as much as it looks like Trump could seize this opportunity to loot and steal from Nigeria, there are plenty of things that are unsaid. And if you look on the surface, it looks like Donald Trump is just trying to go into Nigeria and go in there. I mean, if he really wanted to do it, like with Venezuela, who would have sent ships and weapons and stuff already there and getting, I mean, what would stop him? Nothing. Now, even though Trump is capable of doing that, that should not prevent us as Africans to scrutinize the situation on board. When people from the government, politicians, clerics are saying Boko Haram are their brothers, Boko Haram are their people, they shouldn't be attacked, they shouldn't be bombarded, whilst they are unaliving people every single day. I don't understand what that is. Let me know how you feel about this. It was a great pleasure. God bless.